to date a woman in her 30s. It's a different game, boys, so pay attention. Well, hello and welcome. My name is Erica Angelo, and I am a dating and relationship expert who's been at this for now 12 years. And let me tell you something, homeboy. If you're trying to get with a woman who's in her 30s, the game changes. Things are a little bit different. So I want to go into that. Now, if you are new here, please, I ask that if this resonates with you, if my style resonates with you, then please subscribe. And if you are not a part of my Attract and Seduce Her Academy, what the hell are you waiting for? You gotta join this academy, because there you're gonna find all the ticks, you don't want to find ticks in there, tricks, I cannot talk, but basically you want to join because that's where you're going to get specialized tips and information and tools that I don't necessarily share on YouTube, and it comes with a private members community. So a lot of times you guys ask me questions and I don't get to respond to every question, every comment, and so that private members community is where I spend my time with you guys answering your questions. And if you just can't afford coaching, this is an alternative to help you with your budget. So listen, I am living out here in Bali, and I've been doing these videos in my room because it's so freaking loud out there with motorbikes. I still haven't found a spot to shoot quiet videos. But living here in Bali, I have a group of guy friends who are in their 20s. And I watch these guys, and they're good with women, and they know how to bring women back to their rooms and do all these things. But I was having breakfast with one of them, and I just said, look, man, let me just keep it real with you. The shit that you're pulling with these 20-year-old girls would never fly and work with a woman in her 30s. It's just not going to happen. Why? Because when a woman hits her 30s, she has had more life experience. And with that comes some maturity, there comes some expectations. Now, chances are if you're watching this and you want to date 30-year-old women, I have a sneaky suspicion as to why you want to date 30-year-old women, whether you're younger or maybe you're older. But women in their 30s, this is like kind of like a sexual prime stage, right? She's gone through life, she's gone through her 20s, questioning who she is, figuring out who she is. And now that she's in her 30s, chances are she's got her shit together, she has a job that she wants, and she now knows her body. She's had her 20s to experiment, and now in her 30s, she knows what she wants sexually. She knows what her body wants. And she's at this peak where she wants to bring pleasure to her body quite often. So I don't know. That's why I think you want to watch this video, but whatever the case may be, I'm going to tell you how to get with this kind of a woman. One sneaky thing that you can do is be future-minded. When girls are in their 20s, yes, they're thinking about their future and this and that, but they're also living for the moment. When you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, as you advance, then you're going, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Especially in that 30s bracket. What do I want to do with my life? And so they're going to naturally gravitate towards a man who is future minded. So when you go on a date with a woman like this, you want to talk about future plans, things that you see yourself doing. What do you want to accomplish with your work? What are your travel plans? What do you see for your life? What are you working towards? Because she's gonna be on that same path. So when you basically speak that kind of language, future language, that you have a plan, you have things you're wanting to achieve, you have goals you want to accomplish. When you speak this way, for her, it innately establishes an affinity. She's like, wait a minute, I'm in that same place in my life. And typically, we're gonna gravitate towards people where there's a similarity, there's an affinity. So that starts creating like instant attraction, because if she's looking at you and she's going, he's not as good looking as I'd like him to be, he's not as tall as I'd like him to be, but there's something about having something in common with someone, that affinity, that when you can establish that, she goes, oh, wait a minute, like we're on the same page with this. There could be a future here. I could build something with this guy. The next thing is making plans. Now listen, There's nothing that turns us women off more than a man who does not know how to make a plan. I've even seen in the dating world where guys, women talk about all the time, these guys on dating apps who, they don't even set a date. It's like, what are you looking for? A freaking pen pal? And they just message on these dating apps and they never just make plans. Listen, she is a definitive woman. She's in her 30s. She is making life happen at this stage in her life. So guess what? She is going to be drawn to a man who knows how to make plans. So when you're talking to her and she says, oh, I really like this wine, this and that, you say, listen, I want to take you to this vineyard because the wines there are exceptional. They have a Barolo there that is going to blow your mind. But when she throws out things that she's interested in, you as a man, you need to take those bits of information and go, how can I turn this into a plan? How can I take her interests, things that she's already told me that she's into, and how can I make plans out of this? How can I make future dates out of this? So what that communicates to her is, this guy is a motherfucking boss. Listen, if I put something out there, this guy can go and make shit happen. And this is the last thing. Listen, too many times guys are so nice and you do all these things, you make the plans, you're future minded, you're doing all the right things, but this is where you drop it. You're like, Erica, I did all that and she still just wasn't feeling it with me. She didn't have that chemistry with me. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to be upfront about what you want sexually. I'm not saying listen, I want to lick your butt crack and do things. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, you're laughing right now. You're laughing. I just slipped that in as cool as a cucumber. You're cracking up laughing right now. That was freaking good. I'm not saying that you start telling her your sexual desires, but let it be known that you're sexually into this woman by doing the things that I've talked about a million times in my other videos, which you have not watched. You should be watching these damn videos because there's so many helpful tips in there. But basically touching her, touching the back of her neck, touching her arm. Listen, touch establishes chemistry so quickly. I cannot emphasize this enough. Obviously, you're not going to be on a date touching her boobs, touching her ass, touching her vajayjay. You're not going to do that stuff. But interjecting touch lets her know that there's a sexual interest there. It lets chemistry get built. So you touch her, you say things to her like, tell me if this is too forward, but I have to say, you look incredibly sexy in those heels tonight. You're driving me crazy. So this lets her know you are sexually into this woman. You're not some guy who's just a friendly guy, because this happens too many times. I hear from women, he's a nice guy, just didn't feel it. What she's saying she didn't feel was the sexual chemistry. So know that in everything that you're saying, that is something that you always want to be building towards, is sexual chemistry. And why this is so important to a woman in her 30s is because she already knows her body. She knows what she wants sexually. And so when a man shows up and can meet her in that same energy, in that same vibe, that same frequency of sexual tension, sexual expectation, when you can meet her there, she's like, ooh, I now have a partner. I don't have a boy that I have to explain things to. I have a man, I have a partner, and now let's get it on. Ow! You know what I'm talking about. Listen, you have what it takes, but you know what? Some of you guys, it's time to get to work. You gotta quit watching these videos and go out there and work. Put it to work. So that is your message. But listen, you have what it takes, and know this, that the precedence that you are moving from, the base that you're moving from is that you, my dear, are already loved. You're not trying to go out there and get something that you don't have. You have love. You're like, well, I'm not getting my sucks, so okay, fair point. But know this, that you, my dear, that you're loved. I love you. Your heart is valuable. Now go out there and get your damn woman, okay? Get that 30-year-old woman. I will see you in my next video. You keep coming back. Take care.